In earlier expeditions, I've experienced moments when you just want to sit down and cry. When you're so tired that you don't feel that you have a choice. During my kayaking to Africa, or even when I doing the flying boat expedition or Everest, it all came to situations where you have choices. But the choices were not really going to change the expedition. It was just like, how am I going to change small parts of the expedition? Here came choices during pole to pole that was going to change everything within the expedition.
Ja, vi är mitt ute i Mexiko. Det är inte bara vi som är varma, även naturen har blivit varm. Det brinner runt oss. Det är 45 grader. Helikoptrar kommer med vatten. Vi kan ta oss fram här. Det är fruktansvärt varmt. Vi går framåt. Vi dricker säkert 8 liter per dag. Det är varmt. Men det går framåt.
I got an email from our weather guy, and he explained that it was a lot of activities going down in Antarctica. I didn't really understand what that had to do with me right now, but then I started to understand that it's all domino effect. Everything that happens 6 months ahead will actually be a problem 6 months later. So I started to get more and more worried about the ice conditions. And I went into NASA's website and contacted NASA, contacted CNN, NBC News, BBC, to try to see if they have some more information. And it turned out to be the biggest crack right in that spot where I was planning on going to cross. So there I was, sitting there waiting and see how am I going to take a ship over to Antarctica and sail over and then ski to the South Pole. When there's a crack that is just going in the middle of everything, and then second of all, icebergs floating out. One iceberg was the size of Berlin in terms of size. They were putting out this red alert. That was dangerous for ships to be close to Antarctica at that time. What will happen in the next few months? Will it be worse? Will it be better? I don't know. I knew that if I was not going to go over with a sailboat, I will be stuck for another 9 months until the next season starts. And I cannot really do that because it's a 100th anniversary of Amundsen reaching the South Pole. So I have to cross over to Antarctica now.
So now after many months of skiing and biking and my god, this is so hot. We're down, not really Guatemala, but getting closer and closer. Getting to Acapulco within a few days, and then over to the real jungle in Guatemala, and then all the way down to South America. This has been an interesting part of the journey, to go from desert to jungle to desert again. And I think we're gonna have a lot of ups and downs, a lot of hills, and then down to Chile is gonna be flat again. So it's gonna be interesting, but it's gonna be fun. So it's been so hot for so many days, and I was asking for some rain. Well, it came, and it came 10 times. So it's raining really big time now, but it feels good. We've been having so much heat. Our hands have been swallowed up by heat for so many days. Now we are out in the rain. It feels great, like singing in the rain. So now we're just gonna stay one more day here now. Then we're gonna continue to the southern part of Baja, then over to the mainland. It can only be better. It can only be better.
I watched the lorry. I've had showers that are actually less powerful than this.
This is not rain. This is crazy. It's like biking in a shower. My goodness, it's like the whole ocean is turned upside down. Holy.
Shit!
Like after 15 days of rain every day, we're soaking wet. A few days ago our camera gear got destroyed totally, and tomorrow it will be 16 days of rain. My God, will this never ever end? Welcome to Portugal. So now we reached Guatemala, and we will be here approximately for 4 or 5 days, and then into El Salvador, and then further on to Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica and Panama. It's a very interesting part of the journey, and I always say that meet people with a smile, you get a smile back. We're gonna meet new culture, we're gonna meet new people, but it's gonna be interesting, it's gonna be fun. Este bueno, huh? Trying some fruit, and these are some kind of ¿cómo se llama? Este? Chino. Mamon chino. Yeah, we get all fruit. Tastes really good. In these countries, we're in Costa Rica now. We have to improvise a little bit what we're eating. Sometimes we find hotels, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we find restaurants. Now we find this guy with this fruit. So. This is a normal day on the bike. Normal day in paradise. Normal day in hell. But it's beautiful. But my knee hurts. So let's see what happens. So, now we reached the border of Honduras, and we're going to continue into Honduras, and I think it's just like 1 day through Honduras to get into Nicaragua. So these countries are really close to each other, kind of look the same, so it's not much of a difference, just the currency and the language, I guess, a little bit. So now we're heading for new country today, new country tomorrow. This is a tight schedule now. Make it down to the South Pole. Everything is possible. So this is what it looks like. This is on the border almost to Nicaragua, between Honduras and Nicaragua. And we kind of go on the roads. They're totally gone. As you see behind me, the roads are totally washed away So this is red alert in 3 countries now, in Honduras, Nicaragua and Guatemala, because the roads are totally gone. So we're gonna hurry up before the rest of the road system breaks down totally here in Central America. I'm now taking a little break here between Cartagena and Bogota. Actually Medellin first, then over the mountains of Bogota. It's around 40 degrees today and it's freaking hot, but it's beautiful. And I'm now taking a risk to drink approximately 2 liters of water. Normally I drink around 8 liters, so I am pretty tired for the moment. A lot of uphills. Death Road, Bolivia, 4,700 meters of altitude. I experienced a lot during my expedition, but I must say this is quite an experience. To bike almost at 5,000 meters and on the most dangerous road in the world. So this is an experience, I can tell you that. This is beautiful, this is adventure, this is pole to pole. So cold. Still about 4,000 something. And really cold. Cold. Have to continue that.
There was one option. There was a military plane, a research plane, taking scientists normally over to a different part of Antarctica called the Novo Station. It was my only option of getting to Antarctica. If I didn't want to take the risk of continuing down with my bike and then risking that the captains would still say no, sailing me over to Antarctica. The next problem came that I didn't have enough money. It would cost me around 100,000 euro to get 2 people to fly over with the research plane over to the Novo base. So I needed 100,000 euro within 24 hours. That is kind of like even more difficult than actually doing this, doing the North Pole. Those logistical nightmares that you have to arrange in a very short time.
Some of these moments on pole to pole are hard to describe actually. North Pole, Amazon, but this is actually, I've never seen anything like it. I don't think it is anything like it on Earth. It's pretty spectacular. It's actually a big salt desert and you're just biking here in eternity. It's pretty spectacular. So it's been an adventure and the adventure is still going. I'm still here 13 months later. Yeah, it's pretty spectacular, pretty fantastic.
Sometimes in my expeditions you end up in situations where your only choice is a bad decision. I experienced that during pole to pole now a lot. So now I came to a situation that was totally new to me. Harald, as you remember, he was the Norwegian guy that was up with me in the Arctic. The guy who saved my life also, but didn't get along with him too well. One day I get a phone call. It's from Harald. He tells me that he's been in an accident. He has hurt his shoulder and he cannot join with me to Antarctica. And I will leave in a few weeks. And how do I find a person that have been on expedition before that can also kite surf across a continent big as Antarctica? I already had the tickets, I had the sleds, I had the arrangements, I had the permits, everything was clear. I just needed somebody to go with me.
People ask me why I take the risks. People ask me on my blog every day, like, why do you do this? Why do you take the risk? Why are you up mountain biking 4,000 meters up in the Bolivian mountains? Well, I mean, my friends, I must say this is the reason. The mountains around you, the cultures you meet, this is magic. This is the reason why I do this. This is the reason why I take the risks. My knee is still bad. Hurts a lot, especially up 4,000 meters almost. I think we're up to 4,000 meters almost. And then I will have to go to the closest hospital because a wild dog bit my leg. Not big time, but it was a little bit of bleeding. So I have to maybe get a shot, worst case, I don't know. It's heavy biking up here at almost 4,000 meters. But the knee is hurting. I had uphill all the way up here. I had uphill today, non-stop. So now we are in the middle of the planet, on the equator in Ecuador. And we have east, we have west, and we have the line just here, just behind me. It's pretty amazing to stand on exactly on the middle. You have the North Pole, you have the South Pole, and here's the middle. Middle of the expedition, middle of the adventure, middle of the pole to pole expedition.
So I had to find this person within a week. I tried everything that I could, and I started to realize this is the end of the expedition. I cannot find another person and I cannot go alone. Then one day I get a message from Harald. He might have a solution. He says to me, his dentist is free. I pause for a second and I ask him again, I'm sorry, you said who is free? A dentist, his name is Knut. So you're telling me that your dentist is free when I want a polar explorer to go with me to the South Pole? Well, he's never been on a long expedition before. He's been in the Himalayas once. Has he been in the Arctic before? Not really. Has he been Greenland, North Pole, Antarctica? No. Okay, and he's a dentist. Yes, but he's a good skier. So I didn't really have a choice, did I? So I called up Harald and I told him, send down the dentist.